Rumble Racing is EA's PlayStation 2 follow-up to NASCAR Rumble, which is the PlayStation 1 racing game they released last year. It doesn't really fall into the sports genre like you would think a NASCAR game would. It's more like like a Mario Kart kind of combat game with lots of power-ups, lots of turbo weaponry type stuff. And Rumble Racing followed this up, as well as including a lot of stuff from their 1999 racing game, Hot Wheels Turbo Racing, which had this crazy stunt mode where you basically, as soon as your car would hit the air, you could spin this way, do lots of rotation. You just basically spin, and the better tricks you do, you'd earn more turbos. So this kind of translates over into Rumble Racing. So whenever you catch air, you basically hold down a stunt button, and you can just kind of go through the air and do lots of really cool stuff. The stunts are pretty rocking. When you start to combine, different types of turning, you get this kind of diagonal spinning thing. You'll end up getting, 15 or 20 seconds worth of turbo out of it. So the quality of your stunts definitely does matter as well. The nice thing about the game is that it looks really crisp and clean. It's a little jaggy here and there, and that's looks worse in some spots than in others. But as a whole, the game looks really good. Not a whole lot of pop-up. Lots of speed. The game moves really, really quickly. Some pretty nice effects for the weapons, which include things like basic stuff like turbos and bombs and oil slicks. And then it starts to get out there. There's like a super traction power-up that lets you corner really, really well. There's like an oil bomb you can shoot at the cars in front of you, or like a shockwave. And then there's the twister, which just this full-on tornado hits and just sucks up cars. Anything in the path of the tornado just gets picked up, and you can kind of drive through the storm and come out ahead.
Fire and wind. I'm gonna blow jumps. Man, these guys play rough.
The track design in Rumble Racing is pretty varied. I think my favorite track is the Gauntlet, which is this octagonal track with a whole lot of jumps. Basically, it's just everything. Every corner there's another ramp. There's another little berm you can kind of hop up of and do a quick stunt, and that really lets you keep your turbo up. Just throughout the whole track. So it's just huge, fast-paced stuff. There's a lot of other tracks, like there's a coal mine track where all the shortcuts are basically, mine shafts that are leading you across broken bridges and all kinds of stuff that'll, if taken correctly, will put you in the lead. But it's really easy to get crossed up and end up going the wrong way through the shortcuts, and then you just end up totally lost, and that's no fun.
You put the power in power. Oh, how'd that taste? Ooh, made him stain his skivvies.
This is a great example of one of these stunt-filled levels. This level is a bit like the Gauntlet in that there are a lot of tricks, though this is not a particularly trick-filled moment in the track. Here you see him collecting power-ups, and this is a snowball power-up that when you drop it, it'll freeze enemies and keep them from steering. Here you see a stunt. That's a pretty good one there. That was me doing that, yeah. There's a canyon track, there's beach tracks, there's city tracks. There's basically a pretty wide variety. Basically, the game works through a championship system. There are various cups. You start out in the rookie cups, graduate to the pro cups, then go on to the elite cups. And as you move through the cups, you unlock different cars, different tracks, and basically car upgrades. There's 3 classes for every single car in the game. You start out with the rookie class, obviously, and as you progress, you'll get kind of like a meaner version of your car. So you get down to the elite version, which just has a huge blower, rear-mounted engine, and crazy big wheels. There's a lot of variety in the way the cars look. You have a lot of sedans, you have lowriders, you have your experimental jet-powered cars and Jeeps and little squat, crazy British cars. But the stats are really what makes the difference. There's 3 different stats. There's acceleration, handling, and stunt ability. And basically, you just find like 4 cars that all have the exact same rating, and they're all the best in the game. So you just end up picking one of those 4 or 5 cars, and basically all the other cars are worthless. They're neat to look at, but you don't really want to mess with them if you're serious about wanting to win.
You rock. so hard.
Winning in the game at first is incredibly easy. The rookie mode is, for rookies, so you can pretty much just waltz through the game without any trouble. In the pro mode, the computer cars will start to take the shortcuts. They'll start to use the weapons a little bit better, but as a whole, not really difficult. The Elite Cup is really where it's at, and then past that, you get into this whole other realm of crazy specialized cups, like a stunt cup. And all the computer-controlled cars in the Elite mode and up are just really, really tough. It's really frustrating. I'm stuck on Elite 2 right now, and it's making me a little crazy. Basically, it's just you're in first the whole way, and then all of a sudden, one of the opposing cars will just fly out of a shortcut 40 feet above you and just land right in front of you. Just last-minute stuff. They'll use power-ups pretty well to screw you up, so that's really maddening. And it's the type of game that you get so into it that you'll find yourself throwing controllers and breaking stuff. There's people around the office are kind of scared of me right now. It's been a little rough past couple days, so hopefully we'll get past that soon. Aside from the championship mode, there are also a few other modes, including just like single race mode. You can practice and you can play 2-player. Not a whole lot to see here. Obviously, the championship mode is the meat of the game. It's where you do all the unlocking. But the game is pretty fun with more than one person, and keeps the frame rate up pretty well and manages to be a pretty exciting game.
Hey, all you need now is a cape. You can't be contained.
If you own a PlayStation 2 and you're looking for a racing game that isn't, some big sim-style Gran Turismo 3 looking thing, Rumble Racing is definitely the way to go. It's just a blast to play. It captures some of that Mario Kart kind of power-up feel, but it never really feels like a kiddie, kart racer game. It definitely, captures the feeling of speed and has enough modes to keep you playing for a pretty long time.